nemesis. My nemesis, Karen Rosquist.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, in the 6th grade, I fell down. And I know a lot of you may be thinking, so what? And you'd be right. A lot of people fall down. The problem was, it took me 23 years to get up. What happened was when I was in the 6th grade, we'd been given the assignment to write a story and illustrate it. I did that, and being a young girl who wanted to paint beautiful animals someday, I put an animal in mind. It was an elephant, and I drew that. I was in the library one day at recess time checking out a book. In walked 3 5th grade girls, and they're going over the stories. Oh, I like that one. No, I like that one. All of a sudden, I heard this shriek. That's an elephant? I thought it was a pig. There went my dream. I was absolutely devastated. I wasn't going to take a class again because I didn't want anybody to see how badly I could do. I didn't want anybody laughing at it again. I was worried about what everybody else would think. At home, I really didn't either. I had a little brother who only would have been too happy to have grabbed a bad picture and taken it off to show his friends. So no, I wasn't going to. But it went further than just worrying about what other people thought. Because even when I graduated from college, and I lived by myself, and had a shredder, I still didn't want to know within myself that I couldn't do it. So I didn't draw, I didn't do anything. I would watch Bob Ross painting his happy trees and happy clouds, and he'd say, anybody can do it. But I think, not me. Everyone except me. Finally, at about 35 years old, I went to a Michael's Arts and Crafts store where they sold the Bob Ross products. I was going to get some and try it at home where no one could see. I asked one of the employees, is this really something anyone can do? Have you done it? He said no, but they have a woman that comes in once a month who is certified to teach the Bob Ross method, and she takes everybody through step by step, and he knows people have been very happy with that class. After contemplating for quite a while, because I knew I could face possible ridicule if I took it, I finally signed up for the class. It was the following week. I was mixed feelings, both excited and very anxious about it. Had a lot of anxiety because I knew that I felt like I can't do this. But when I went in, I felt a lot better because she had the painting up there. She led us through step by step, each step of the way. And I was very happy with my outcome. I wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. It all looked basically the way it should. I continued taking the classes for about 5 months and had the supplies and painted at home. And then 5 months later, a man came into the class that opened my eyes. He came in all excited. He had all the supplies. Boy, he was waiting to do this. He'd been wanting to do this for a long time. It wasn't long into the painting, though, that I realized, his really isn't going to look like everybody else's. When we were done, his world was midnight. We all had bright blue skies. We all had a sun over in the left corner. He had a moon. But the worst, probably, was this clump of trees over to the right. His was an orange bonfire. That's what our teacher decided to call it. But he was still really excited about that. And that's when I realized this is more about pleasing yourself, doing something you enjoy, and not worrying about what other people think. Finally, I had read a quote a while back by Oprah that said, nothing is a failure if you enjoy the journey. And I thought of that man at the time, because truly, he enjoyed the journey. Later on, the woman stopped teaching the classes, and I was looking for another class. I continued at home, but was looking for another class. Didn't find Bob Ross, but I found a beautiful landscape painting done in pastel. I got the number for the teacher, and I called her. I said, okay, here's my credentials. I've painted happy trees and clouds, Bob Ross's. I can draw stick people. I can work with that. She said, yes, there are techniques to learn. I can teach you and take you in the direction you want to go. I said, okay, here's the catch. I've always wanted to paint animals. That was my dream. I said, but the problem is, in the 6th grade, the last time I did, I drew an elephant that looked like a pig. And it wasn't a good experience for me. She said, if you want to paint animals, you will paint animals. I went to the class. We decided to do a landscape first so I could get familiar with the medium. As I went through weeks of painting this, but was very happy with the results. We actually picked something from the Bob Ross book, a landscape. I decided to tackle animals later and try painting animals. painted some tigers, painted a lion. Finally, after a few years, I decided to tackle my nemesis. My nemesis being the elephant. It had conquered me before, but I was determined to conquer it this time. And this was the result.
No.
I'm happy to say that nobody has accused us of looking like a pig. I'm finally pursuing the dream that I had from a little girl, and something I've always wanted to do. But I do regret the 23 years that I wasted worrying about what everybody else would think and having my own personal fear of failure. It took seeing a man paint some trees that looked like a bonfire for me to put things in perspective and realize what was important and what wasn't. What is important is, or what isn't as important is how many times you fall down. What is important is how many times you get up and how soon. Mr. President.